Hey yoga witches! Are you struggling to find your authentic voice? Does sticking up for yourself feel combative or just like you're always attracting unnecessary drama? Does it feel like anytime when you do find that authentic voice and you're sticking up for yourself, that it just feels like everyone is taking it as you being combative? And as a result of that, do you feel like you just tend to go with the flow and say yes and whatever, I just want to keep the peace, I'm over it? Final question. Do you feel like you can just never seem to get your point across no matter how much you talk with people and try to articulate yourself? It sounds like you have a blocked throat chakra. Stay tuned because today we are going to talk about how to unblock your throat chakra as a yoga witch. Welcome back to the season of Anya, where we are building an awesome community full of spiritual healing through the practices of yoga, magic, and witchcraft. Today marks chakra 5 out of 7 in our chakra series for yoga witches. Today we're going to talk about the throat chakra, also known as Vishuddha in Sanskrit. So, how do you know if your throat chakra is blocked? Well, as mentioned, you have a hard time communicating. You feel like you can never get your authentic voice, your point across. It just always gets misconstrued. You're constantly overthinking, you're in your head, so then when it comes to being in the moment, you never know what to say. Oh, this one's my favorite. You feel like every conversation you have, you already know how the conversation is gonna go. It is almost as if it is controlled, and that is how you practice talking with people. Another sign of a blocked throat chakra could be that you have a very timid voice, especially when talking among people you don't know, uncomfortable situations, things like that. Sometimes the voice will actually crack because you're under so much stress and so much tension. And finally, you are a yes person. Just don't want to make waves. You just go with the flow because you want to maintain the peace. It doesn't matter what I think. Let's just go for it. I don't know. I can't make a decision for myself. Those are some signs of a blocked throat chakra, and this is how we're going to fix that. The seed mantra for the throat chakra is hum. Hum. This is supposed to be the vibration that is associated with this particular chakra. So one thing you can do straight away, say it over and over again. Hum. It's pronounced, or spelled rather, H-A-M. For the love of God, do not say ham. Unsubscribe if you're gonna do that. Just kidding. Sorta. Some other active things you could do is start a journal and just write every single thought you have down. This is a great exercise that you can do daily, or at least couple times a week. I'd challenge you to do it at least 3 times a week and just write. You want to try to get at least 3 pages in your journal. And if you don't have anything to say, that is more reason to challenge yourself to do 3 pages. Trust me on that one. Another thing you could do is start a fuck this journal. Oh yeah. I gave one to my aunt. It actually has journal prompts and everything on there because you know what? Sometimes life just sucks and you just need to articulate that. That is okay. I'll go ahead and link that journal down in the comments, in the description, if you want to check it out. Do some affirmations in the mirror. A really good one for the throat chakra is, I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. Look at yourself when you say it. Say it with vigor, but seriously, say it and make eye contact with yourself. The whole reason I emphasize making eye contact with yourself on my channel when we're talking about affirmations is it does hold a different sense of power. You are talking to yourself, but you're also talking to yourself and not in your head, if that makes sense. It is powerful. Trust me when I say that. It was one of the hardest things for me to do. And then when you try to get some affirmations out of the way, go ahead and start to ponder on maybe previous conversations that you had that you didn't quite articulate yourself, they didn't quite go the way you wanted to. Maybe in the moment you were so nervous and scared you just kind of got into a agreeable state, or you just felt too scared to kind of say what you in your heart knew you needed to say, but you didn't want to have that conversation. Again, after you have that, just do it in the mirror. It creates a sense of separation from your ego, and basically all we're doing is building practice, because sometimes we can come across harsh. I can come across harsh. And usually that's a result of a suppressed and blocked throat chakra, because you know what you want to say, but since you don't, you're holding it, and then when it finally comes out, it comes out. That's not good. That's not fair to yourself, and that's not fair to the people around you. How are they supposed to read your mind? If you say yes, it's not people's responsibilities to read between the lines. You could always just yell into a pillow, or if no one's around, just have at it and let it all out. Oh, and a couple things I did want to mention as far as throat chakra blockages. This doesn't always mean how you are articulating yourself. Are you taking the time to listen to someone else? Maybe you're constantly bulldozing the conversation. Maybe you are just not listening. Maybe you're not giving them the right space. You're not inviting that energy in for them to speak. You're kind of just sitting there and you're annoyed. That's also a sign of a blocked throat chakra. So with that in mind too, another way you can unblock the throat chakra, if you're interrupting constantly, be mindful, apologize, catch yourself. This is a practice, so it's gonna take time, but try it, practice it. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Don't be afraid to apologize if you're in the wrong. Honestly, I've done a lot of healing and found a lot of peace in my life when there are situations that maybe happened 2, 3, whatever years ago, or even just a couple months ago that I felt in my heart I needed to apologize for. A lot of times be like, oh dude, you still remember that? Yes, I do. I do not forget that. But energetically, we really don't. Release it, let it go. Worst case, that person will be so grateful and have more respect for you because you are somebody who's willing to work on themselves and apologize for being in the wrong. It's okay. And if it's someone you don't talk to anymore, or you had a falling out with and that severed the relationship, create closure, especially if you know you were in the wrong. Don't come at that situation expecting an apology back. Make peace with yourself by making peace with them. If you want a handy dandy little pamphlet, a little downloadable PDF for your book of shadows or your journal that actually has some more information on the throat chakra, and I will link it in the comments. I have a couple yoga poses that I really enjoy for unblocking the throat chakra. So we have supported fish, shoulder stand, or even legs up the wall pose. Upward facing dog, probably one of my favorites because you really have to get in there and extend your neck and really open that energy. And finally, this one is very effective and it's not really my favorite and it's not really a yoga pose, but it's lion's breath, where you are literally pushing out that energy. You're letting your tongue go crazy and just blah. Look it up. That's one I just don't think I will ever demo on this channel. Well, maybe I will, but look it up. It actually works. Oh, and I just thought of another one actually on the fly. Force laughter. Let it out. Be obnoxious with it. Do it for like a minute. Set a timer for a minute, maybe 2 even, and just keep going. After a while, you're gonna be like, all right, I'm over this. That's the point. Keep projecting and releasing. Because sometimes too, when we're struggling with communication, we are so serious about things, and a lot of times it's just not as big of a deal as we think it is. So laugh it off, laugh, find the joy, and it'll help you reconnect with yourself and just take a load off. And another way to connect with the blocked throat chakra is through utilizing shadow work. Was there an impactful situation in your life where you never got your point across, or you just let someone take over and it actually hurt you in the long haul? Maybe it was a case where you needed to defend yourself or stick up for yourself, or I don't know, maybe it was a job promotion that you never sought after. Journal about that. I actually have a whole post on my blog, thisseasonofanya.com, and it has so much more information about shadow work, specifically through the throat chakra, and just some other information on there if you want a little bit more of a detailed approach. And finally, another way that you can connect with the throat chakra is by connecting with the energy or the actual color of the throat chakra in terms of the 7 chakra system. Blue. Oh yeah, I'm wearing blue today. I am going to do something in my life that is going to help me articulate myself better. This is something I want to work with. You know, stuff like that. See what I did there? You could wear blue clothing, you could wear blue shoes, you could wear turquoise, or connect with blue angelite. I love that stone, that crystal. Shoot, I've even seen blue teas and they're actually quite tasty. Maybe buy yourself one and have a tea every morning, and as you're pouring your cream and sugar, at least that's what I do, in your tea, stir it with that intent of, yeah, I'm going to work on this today. When you're working with chakra energy, it's not about just addressing it once. What I like to do, and that's why I created this series, is I like to work within the system. Make kind of a conscious effort, like, yeah, you know what? I need to revisit my chakras. I'm feeling out of balance, especially the first time you're working with your chakras. Because basically what that does, with the root being the first chakra, you are building this foundational structure, which allows yourself to identify your needs, your shortcomings, and just areas and opportunities for growth. And that's kind of what the spiritual journey is all about, is it not? So sit with it for a while. There's no timeline. This is something that should come naturally to you over time. So take time. Say, hey, I'm gonna sit with the throat chakra. I'm really gonna reflect with how I could articulate myself a little better, how I could be a better communicator, how I can hold space for someone. And then when you're applying those situations to your everyday life, when you feel the time is right, then move on to the next chakra. So comment below and share with the community. Is your throat chakra blocked? What are you doing to unblock your throat chakra? I'll start. I am really, really bad at holding space for people, and I get stuck in the good old noggin far too much. So I'm constantly thinking and not being present. So what am I doing to combat it? Taking deep breaths, being aware that I'm not present and I'm stuck in the head. And when I interrupt someone, which I do because I'm just so excited to get out what I have to say. This is a symptom of ADHD, by the way, just saying. I simply apologize, and every time I apologize, it snaps me out of my energy. It snaps me out of that, and then over time, I'm building awareness, and that is what this journey is all about. So, if the path of the Yoga Witch resonates with you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on my channel. I have so much more witchy content to follow. Thank you so much for subscribing to the season of Anya, Witchcraft for Beginners from a Spiritual Yoga Witch. So much love and gratitude to you all on this journey.